The 19th of June, Rabbi Levitt, Horeb.
Horeb. And good morning, Roy. And good morning, Alan.
Morning, Rabbi Levitt. Morning, Luke. Good morning, Alan.
Morning, Roy. Rabbi. Morning, Alan.
Okay. Baruch Hashem. We're ready to go. Where are we going? We're going to learn Sefer Horeb, Be'ezus Hashem.
Good question.
Okay.
Oh.
And we're going to go from section 175. Oh, do we do that already? We did this one with the, yeah, we did this one. Okay. Yeah, we did 175. Yeah. Okay, 176. Start with 176. On page 94. And we go to Lou to start off the reading.
This siyag, rabbinical decree, was not applied to the case where the Sabbath directly follows Yom Tov. Freedom was therefore given to undertake any activity permitted on Yom Tov for the following Sabbath. However, in order that work for any other day should not harm the holiness of Yom Tov, this activity on Yom Tov for the following Shabbos was permitted only if some food was prepared for the Shabbos on a weekday, but the activity of preparing for Shabbos on Yom Tov is only a continuation of and a completion of that which has already been started on a weekday. This is called Erev Tavshilin.
What does Tavshilin mean? In fact, what does the word Erev mean?
Erev is like
the boundary, isn't it?
That's what I would have thought, but I don't know.
Yeah, very good translation. So in other words, that's why an Erev is it's like a boundary, that you make a boundary around a city, and then that allows to carry in the city. And also it's, we say, like Erev Shabbos. We're talking about the time which is the boundary on the way into Shabbos. And over here, this is an Erev Tavshilin. The word Tavshilin comes from the word Tavshil. Tavshil is a cooked dish.
Is a cooked dish.
A cooked dish. And since it's Tavshil is singular and Tavshilin is Lashon Rabim, plural, and so that alludes to the fact that the halacha of Erev Tavshilin is that you have two items that you've already cooked or baked on Erev Yom Tov, and you've prepared them for usage on Shabbos, and like that, you've already started your preparations on Erev Yom Tov for the Shabbos, which is coming after Yom Tov, and like that, that we are Chazal allowed us to continue with the preparations that we already started on Erev Yom Tov, and continue those preparations on Yom Tov itself, which otherwise we don't prepare on Yom Tov for a different day, even if that day is Shabbos, we don't prepare for it. Not only do we not prepare for it if it's a weekday, a Yom Chol, but even for Shabbos. But through this this Erev Tavshilin, this is the way that Chazal made so that we're able to continue on preparations on Erev Yom Tov on Erev Shabbos, on Yom Tov, which is Erev Shabbos, for the Shabbos. In other words, when Yom Tov comes out on Friday.
So the word Eruv and Erev are related then, or is they the same?
No, that's just English.
Eruv and Erev.
You have this that various words in Lashon HaKodesh, when they are transliterated into English, so different translators spell the Lashon HaKodesh word differently.
Yeah, well, they sound the same in Ivrit.
Oh, 1 second. You know what? I think you might actually have something over here. Here, there's a reason why it's called, because Erev has Erev meaning like Erev Shabbos. It's vowelized differently than this word Eruv. It has the same letters. It has the same 3-letter shorish,
Right.
but the vowelization is different. And it's actually correct that they've rendered it with a U instead of a E, because it reflects the fact that Eruv, it's got it doesn't have a segel under the resh. It's got it's spelled with a vav also, actually Eruv, and it has by the vav it's got a shurik or a malupim, however you want to call that vowel. So it's Eruv, but it's the same 3-letter shorish. So it's the same concept of boundary between one place and another place, between one time and another time. Okay.
Thank you.
It directly follows. Mm-hmm. Right. So this is what he said in the beginning of this section. This siag was not applied to the case where Shabbos directly follows Yom Tov. What's the siag that he's talking about? The siag refers to the rabbinic decree. He spoke about in at the end of section 175, which is that he said, but siag draws the purpose into the sphere of the prohibited, and everything which is not, in part at least, an intended contribution to partaking on the same day is forbidden. So therefore, any activity which is maleches avoda, which is done exclusively for the next day or for a non-Jew, would not be allowed on Yom Tov. So here he's saying that this siag, to not allow any activity that's done on Yom Tov, which comes on Friday before Shabbos, this siag to not have Yom Tov prepare for the next day has been lifted. And Chazal gave us a way to allow it through Erev Tavshilin. So, okay. 177. And we go to Roy to continue the reading, please.
The second day of Yom Tov, which was originally added to all Yomim Tovim outside of the land of Israel, out of necessity, and then as a takana, and we're directed to chapter 78, and other places, is like the first in all respects. The second day of Yom Tov is like the first in all respects. There is some difference only in relation to a funeral and to a person who is ill but not seriously.
Okay.
These days, which bear the characteristic of Moed through prohibition of Malachas Avodah, servile work, and on which only Malachas Ochel Nefesh is permitted, are therefore the 15th, 16th, and 17th, and 15th and 16th, and the 21st and 22nd of Nisan, the 6th and 7th of Sivan, the 1st and 2nd, and the 15th and 16th, and the 2nd and the 22nd and 23rd of Tishri. The characteristic of the Shabbos, that is the prohibition of every working activity, belongs only to the 7th day of the week, to Shabbos, and to the 10th of Tishrei, Yom Kippur. Concerning Chol HaMoed, we refer to chapter 24, paragraph 183, which is coming up.
Okay, so therefore he gave the days where he calls Malachas Avoda are asur, that are not connected to Ochel Nefesh. So he has the second day Yom Tov on all the Yom Tovim, and he lists them all, and then he contrasts that those days, which on those days Malachas Ochel Nefesh, malachas that are done baking and cooking for the sake of for the sake of Yom Tov would be permissible on the Yom Tov. That's the feature of Yom Tov, as opposed to the characteristic of the Sabbath or Shabbos, where the prohibition of every working activity, whether it's Malachas Avoda, which does not concern Ochel Nefesh, whether it's even Malachas Avoda, which is Ochel Nefesh, that applies to Shabbos, as we know, and it also applies to Yom Kippur. Not only because you can't eat on Yom Kippur, but it's because Yom Kippur is compared in the Gemara to Shabbos Shabbosim, and so therefore it also not allowed to carry on Yom Tov of Yom Kippur, just like on Shabbos. Okay, and that finishes chapter 23. Wow.
Yeah, I actually experienced a funeral on second day Yom Tov when my uncle passed away. And this is before I was, observant, but they did have the funeral. But I don't remember, I'm not sure if they started the Shiva right away or they waited till after the Yom Tov. That I don't remember.
Well, as far as the Shiva goes, Yom Tov breaks the Shiva.
Oh, yeah, so there is no Shiva. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the leniency on the second day of Yom Tov is that the burial is allowed.
Right.
Which would not be allowed on the first day.
Correct. Okay, very good.
Okay. And a round of applause for chapter 23. Hooray!
Very good.
Okay, now we go to chapter 24. The celebration of Shabbos and Yom Tov, Mikra Kodesh, Kavod v'Onig v'Simcha. Very nice. And these are all psukim in Leviticus. What's it called? Vayikra, right? And
Vayikra, yeah. And
Deuteronomy is Devorim.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he has even a psukim from ISA.
Isaiah,
Yeshaya. Very nice. Okay. And we go to Alan to start off the reading.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, the appointed seasons of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my appointed seasons. And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant, and the maidservant, and the Levite, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. Next part, from if you turn away thy foot because of the Sabbath, from pursuing thy business upon my holy day, and call Sabbath a delight, and the holy of the Lord, and thou shalt honor it, not doing the wanted ways, not now pursuing the business and nor speaking thereof. Then thou shalt delight thyself in the Lord, and thou shalt make thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and I will feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, from the mouth of the Lord, from the mouth of the Lord has spoken.
Okay, yeah, these two psukim in Yeshaya. Some people have a custom that they start off the Kedusha Rabbah on Shabbos morning with these two psukim before they say V'shamru b'nei Yisrael.
Joe, that was fast.
And they talk about the Karasa l'Shabbos Onig Shabbos. And this is also brought in the Gemara in Shabbos 118. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the 178. Mayor, our resident Cohen.
Okay. One quick second. Okay. Set 178. You should proclaim the Sabbath and Yom Tov as sanctuaries. You should express their meaning for yourself and for others with your whole being, that they are sanctuaries for the spirit and the mind. You should present them thus to yourself and to others, and should experience them as such in spirit and mind. They are to be presented as sanctuaries. 1, by the appearance of your whole personality. 2, by your activity. Okay, they are to be realized by the mitzvah of the day and divine service also, by physical enjoyment, by spiritual and mental activities. Okay. 3, for the Sabbath, by attaining the inner menucha, peace of mind, for Yom Tov by attaining simcha, the true undimmed joy.
Wow. Okay. Okay, let's see what Rev Hirsch has to say about these. So I think that what his comments in this section 178, he sort of outlined, I think, what he might be coming to speak about now in the rest of this chapter. I hope so. Yes, that's what it looks like. Okay, so if you're going to ask, what does he mean by the appearance of your whole personality? And what does he mean by that they're a sanctuary? And what does he mean by this and by that? So without further ado, we're going to let Rev Hirsch do the talking. 179, we go back to Lou to continue.
Presentation. 1. By the appearance of your personality in home, clothing, body, and bearing. Prepare yourself to welcome the festive time as you would for the arrival of a cherished guest. Let your house be clean and well ordered, your table be laid neatly with light in the rooms in which you dwell. Certainly where you have your festive meal, you yourself should be properly washed and clothed in festive garments. And on the Shabbos, your bearing should indicate that you are not pursuing any external purpose that day. Your inner self should be imbued with the striving after the spiritual gifts of the day, with power to consecrate.
Consecrate means, I guess, to sanctify, like the word kedusha. Okay. That we also need to define what that is, but okay.
I think it means that to imbue something with, or endow something with holiness.
Well, that's Kedusha. Yeah.
Well, then we could turn the question to that expression. What is holiness?
I learned as a kid, holiness was separation. In other words, you're separating, I guess if you want to call it, the sanctified from the mundane. So it's sort of a separation.
Okay. So at the very least, we should realize that we're entering into a realm of time and space and being, which is not like the days of the week. It's not like the other days.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Well, let's before we get involved in too much discussion over here, we're going to continue to let the author here, Rav Hirsch, do the talking. And let's go to 180 and see what he has to say about. You see that he's taken the words that he spoke about in 178 and different phrases, and now he's expounding upon them and expanding upon their what they're meaning for us. Okay, by your activity. In other words, he's defining now what it means that we should present our Shabbos and Yom Tov as sanctuaries. So the first thing he said was by the appearance of your whole personality. So that's 179, presentation. And now this is the second point that he said over there, by your activity. So now he's going to define this. And we go to Roy to continue, by your activity.
A. The prohibition of physical effort and concern with physical matters, which is so often wrongly considered to be the basic concept of the refraining from work, from Malacha, on Shabbos and Yom Tov, here comes to the fore. You should not tire out your body on Shabbos and Yom Tov, nor should you burden yourself with cares about physical matters in your spirit and mind, in word and deed. For spiritual and mental activity, and for care about your spiritual welfare. The body should rest so that spirit and mind may awaken and be opened to the spiritual blessing of the Shabbos and the joyful consecration of Yom Tov. Besides the Malacha, the work on Shabbos, and Meleches Avodah, servile work on Yom Tov, the following are forbidden. So do I read those, or do you want to break this up, or what? You want to comment on that?
Yes, okay. He said something very interesting in the beginning sentence over here. So we're saying Shabbos is a sanctuary, Yom Tov is a sanctuary. By your activity, what do you do on these days? So he says we have a prohibition of certain activities. What does that entail? So he says the prohibition of physical effort and concern with physical matters. And then he says, which is so often wrongly considered to be the basic concept of the refraining from work. Oh, I see what he means. He means to say, we all know that this is not so, but perhaps for the uninitiated, when you say you can't do work on Shabbos, they would think, oh, well, that means you can't do like a physical hard work, that expending, that takes a lot of bodily efforts. But that's not really what we know is that's not at all really what the definition of the Lamed Tes Malachas that are Osir on Yom Tov is about. So he's just referring to that over here, I believe. But in any case, even though that's not the definition of Malacha, which is Osir, he says that still in all, you have to the activity of the Shabbos and Yom Tov is mainly an avoda of the heart and an avoda of the mind, and so therefore, in order for your heart and your mind to be able to properly experience the kedusha of the day, your physical body should not be tired, because that's going to get in the way of your service of the day, which includes enjoying the days in spiritual pursuits and mental activity, which is so important. And so he emphasizes over here very practically, the body should rest so that the spirit and the mind be awakened and open to the spiritual blessings that the Shabbos and the Yom Tov can provide. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you got to figure out a way to not be so tired when Shabbos comes in, and everybody has their own way of doing that, and everybody's got to figure it out into their schedule how they're going to do that, so that they are that they're able to be alert and awakened to the spiritual blessings of the day and the nights, the Leil Shabbos. Okay. it's easier these times of year because Shabbos comes in, when it was 7-11 was Hadlakas Neros. So you got a long Shabbos afternoon, Erev Shabbos afternoon to do everything that needs to be done, the chores, and also perhaps to take a nap. So that's a very important part of your Shabbos preparations. Okay. Yeah.
So do I continue or do you want Alan to continue?
Let's go to Alan.
Okay. Um, 180, right?
In the paragraph indeed, paragraph 1, basically the last full paragraph on 96.
Which, oh, indeed.
Indeed, yes.
What's that?
Yes,
Mhm.
indeed.
Number 180, right?
Yeah.
The slightest unnecessary physical effort.
Where we're starting again? Indeed, right? The slightest,
Yeah.
the slightest unnecessary physical effort, every physical activity which is to any extent strenuous, even if necessary, every activity on a weekday of a weekday nature, every trading activity and all business associated with it, or one which is a preparation for the weekday, even if it is only apparently so. This prohibition includes buying, selling, dispatching, measuring, weighing, concerning oneself with travel and transport matters, going out with staff in hand, going up to the walking limit, to tichum, in order to wander further for business purpose as soon as the day of rest is over. Also, this is also even if it is arranged before the day of rest, that any of these items be done by a non-Jew is only permitted under special conditions. Part 2 of this. And every word which is not intended for the celebration of the day or for some charitable purpose, let alone one which belongs to working and business life. Thus, any word which concludes a purchase, a loan, a credit, or any other transaction, even if it is only a calculation, is forbidden. Likewise, to declare the price of an article, to appoint laborers, etc., to decide business matters involving action after the day of rest, to read business letters, bills, deeds, or generally to read and speak of things which do not make a person wiser, better, or stronger in the fear of God. Conversation about the events of the day is permitted only if it is directed towards a higher purpose, or if it is or it has the subsidiary aim of enlarging the enjoyment of the day's events. Similarly, the fetching of things for meals from the unusual seller is permitted if done without mention of price, measure, weight, or number, other than that which is indispensable for describing the desired object. 3. In thought, thoughts belong to working or business life, whether regarding a completed transaction or some business in the future, are prohibited. Likewise, every thought which does not make one wiser, better, or stronger in the fear of Hashem, or busy himself with these sections of the sciences which bring knowledge, but do not bring the wisdom of life to spirit and heart. The next part of this 180, 2081. Okay, that's done.
Okay, very good. Mm-hmm. 181, we go back to Mayor again, please.
Oh, okay. What's the realization?
Yes.
Okay. By means of sublimated material life, The Torah impresses upon us, your mind again and again, the fact that Shabbat and festival do not summon you to a superhuman stage, an aim which you would be very difficult to follow, since you are man and not angel. Your task is to be a man and to serve God in your human life and with your human life. That is why it is always part of the festive celebration to sublimate your everyday life and to enjoy yourself before God, and to make what you have most in common with sensuousness part of the celebration. In this way, you realize that your whole life, from your most spiritual thought down to your bodily pleasure, your whole life can and should be a divine service permeated with the spirit of the Shabbat and Yom Tov. In the Jewish view, even gratification of senses is a divine service if it is controlled by law and dedicated so that holy aim which God's wisdom set for it. Thus, should it be with everything, be it bodily pleasure or intellectual or artistic attainment. Let's see. Guess I can go on. We have time.
Yeah.
Okay. There is no
Okay.
part. There is no part. There is no part of your life which you may be purely animal-like. You must purify, sublimate, and refine everything into divine service by observing divine law. That is why Sudat Shabbat and Yom Tov is a mitzvah, and you should add whatever you can, however small, to your usual meal for the celebration of the Shabbat and Yom Tov. And whenever you partake of food on Shabbat or Yom Tov, do it with that intention, so as to consecrate even your body to the holy service of God, for it is there in the sublimation of your bodily desires that the consecration of your whole being begins, yea, is founded. Have 2 complete loaves, if possible, at the evening and morning meals, reviving thereby the memory of the divine love shown to our fathers, which gave them a double portion of heavenly manna on the 6th day to cover the need for the 7th day as well. This fatherly love of God also watches over you in your own life and sends you heavenly manna in the bread which you earn. For the Shabbat, which more than Yom Tov, is meant for the consecration of every individual to his task within his circle. This religious meal, purifying physical needs by raising them into a higher sphere, is resumed at every turning point of the day, in the evening, in the morning, and at the time of Mincha. That's a Shalosh Sudot, the 3 meals.
So they correspond to the 3 time periods that we divide the day into.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, Yashikoyach. A great day to Mayor.
Thank you.
All the best.
And all of you should have a great day too.
Amen.
Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shkoyach Meir.
Okay. Feel better, Lou.
Thank you.
Shalema.
Amen.
You got a cold or what?
Yeah, I've got a bad cold.
Oh, yeah. Drink plenty of water, I'm told.
Oh, good idea.
And also mint tea or something
Tea?
I don't know.
something like
Oh,
that.
if you have mint tea, maybe would be good.
Lou, you feel like going today?
I don't think I'm going to go today, Alan. I'm not feeling very well.
Okay, all right, feel better. You
Yes,
sound,
not.
yeah, you sound very nasal. All right, first line up.
I mean,
Okay.